Most favorable character, but would you like to do it? It'd be a dramatic challenge.
How long will my son stay here?
Indefinitely, Mr. Holston.
And when I read the script, I thought, well, I think people are going to understand, since I have 4 kids I love, that this is not Pat Boone. This is a character I'm playing.
Most of the parents prefer it that way.
Roger will be here tomorrow.
Night Gallery was always kind of a spooky type show, and I loved it very much and was thrilled to be invited to do it. And the name of my episode was Pamela's Voice, and I felt that I was chosen particularly because of that raucous laugh that I have, and I can't help that. That is my real laugh.
I shall spend the rest of my eternity talking.
I'm always pleased when anything that I've done, on television especially, like an episode, is recognized and remembered so many years later, because they've been, more than fish in the sea have been episodes of television, so that anybody remembers one, it has to have some sort of quality to it.
Dear God! What have you done to him?
When Night Gallery came, I loved the show. I loved Rod Serling, the whole idea of it. And especially the script, the one script particularly that I did where I played Dracula.
Hi.
I really enjoyed that.
What time do you expect to be back?
Dawn. We are always back before sunup. Always.
I felt very free to, as an actor, and certainly with my director, Leonard, we felt very free to create and come up with our own sort of take on things, and it was a very creative atmosphere. Not all television is like that. They were willing to explore and take the time to do that and to create something unusual.
Aren't you gonna hold me?
Enthralling as it was for those just getting started creatively, the magic and mystery of the Night Gallery was developed and mined week after week by a highly skilled gathering of individuals, all charged with a different element of the stories to tell. Multiple segments each week meant multiple worlds to create. Images would be brought to chilling life and sometimes disquieting death. Night Gallery was considered groundbreaking for offering a mixed bag of tricks within each and every show. Week after week, the show's directors worked around tight budgets and difficult deadlines to bring to life haunted cemeteries, ghost towns, even terror on the high seas.
Torpedo! There's a torpedo dead ahead!
I was self-taught as a director, so I had a lot of insecurities. I never knew whether I was doing it the right way, between quotes, because I'd never gone to film school. And in a way, Night Gallery opened me up a lot, because suddenly I started really doing what I thought was right in terms of the visual language.
Well, at the time, they had very little budget, and they had to create for like $1.50 a special effect or a photographic effect that would have cost literally thousands of dollars on a studio film. What they had to their benefit was a lot of the guys who worked in the background at Universal Studios had been around since James Whale was making films back in 1931, and they all knew the tricks.
You're working so fast and so quickly, and you have to do shortcuts all the time. You don't have time to spend time with the actors, and you can barely get the shots done that you need to just to tell the story. But you have to find a way to do them interestingly, interesting camera moves, interesting, character concepts, so that the actors seem, unusual and not straightforward. And Night Gallery just would give you every opportunity to go as far as your imagination would allow you to go.
It's heaven, except for the schedule and the budget and all that. It was just heaven. I mean, Jack left us alone. The material was very creative.
And speaking of creativity, observe, if you will, the paintings around me. Some of the sole remaining originals from the show. A colorful combination of paint, pigments, light, and shadow. An integral ingredient to the stories of Night Gallery. In all, artist Tom Wright created over 100 works for the Night Gallery, and bringing these paintings to life was no easy task.
Once I got the idea, I would start working on it right away. And it was basically, as soon as I could get a painting done, what I would do is I would, first of all, get the okay. Here's what we're going to do. Then I would do the painting, and then I would send it down for Universal to frame. I also designed the frames. Calls would come in, letters would come in, people wanting paintings for their bars, for their dens, it was incredible because the paintings became a major part of the show.
Elaborate sets, art direction, makeup, special effects, and cinematography fused together to awaken the pixels within the portraits. And while the paintings intimated the visual stories, atmospherically distinct and unusual sounds and music led you down the path of the bizarre. Television's most gifted craftsmen would collaborate to blend imagery and sound. A truly unique arrangement of artistry and composition. The opposite of decomposition, if you will.
I paid a lot of dues to come up with this new music. I mean, it may be commonplace today, but in 1969, nobody was playing synthesized electronic music, or certainly not electronic jazz and live performance of it. Today, if you heard the same cue, you'd say, oh, it's a nice piece of electronic music. But back in 1969, it was like, this guy's crazy, this stuff will never fly, this isn't music, you know. It was pretty out there, and Jack, to his credit, backed me all the way, all the time.
I think with Night Gallery, it made me realize that I had to create a challenge with everything that I did. Makeup, to me, is part of the storytelling. Night Gallery is a perfect example because of all the